So, welcome to the Lyric.
Thank you.
So can you tell us a little bit about the 3 plays and how they're going to make up Symphony?
Sure. Well, Symphony started as an idea where we wanted to see what happens if we start musically rather than narratively, always putting plays together. And a symphony, in my very crude understanding of music, is a piece of music that releases 3 movements. So we thought that's quite a nice place to start. So we've got 3 writers to each write a movement of symphony, with 1 composer working with 3 writers. So thematically or plot-wise, the plays don't really share anything together, but they've all been composed by the same musician, obviously, and so the link comes in the music and the repeated rhythms and tones and songs and themes that come out through the music, and seeing what happens if it's more like a gig, and if, you know, the way like an album might be connected, even though the songs narratively or literally might not connect with each other, you can always tell tones or emotion or chord sequences or progressions that are coming through. So we thought, what happens if you do that with theatre? Is it even possible? So let's hope it is.
And we've teamed up 3 different writers, 3 of the best writers working in the country at the moment: Ella Hickson, Tom Wells and Nick Payne, with Ed Gocken from, who works a lot with London Snorkeling Team, who works a lot with Lyric Hammersmith. And Ed's composing all of the music based around the pieces that writers have written.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're basically, it's the closest we could get to a theatre and a live gig being the same thing. Trying to embrace this amazing square you have out here and the outdoor environments that we're going to be touring around to. And mostly, other than at Latitude, the pieces are totally separate. So they're sort of played throughout the day, but just on their own as individual 20-minute pieces. And then only Latitude will bring them together as an hour-long sort of full cycle. And we hope there will be all these links and themes, but not narratively as you'd suspect in 3 straight plays.
It's also a slight departure for us in some senses, in that we're going to be doing a lot of devising work that we've done before, as well as working from the text that the writers have written for us. We're kind of devising some musical set pieces and things like that, so it's quite a different type of challenge that we've really worked with.
And we've never worked before, I suppose, with having a composer at entry level, when the writers are writing, they're talking as a composer and having that in mind, rather than you get a play and go, oh, where could the music be, what can we do? This is built in at entry level and structurally. So we get something really interesting, and also we just want people to have an awesome time. It's summer, it's festival season, we want you to come and rock out with us for a little bit and have a good laugh and maybe have a little cry and, just enjoy the summer sun and the music we're playing. So that's kind of the project.
Thanks. So what genres are you using in terms of the music? Is the genre inspired by the subject of the plays? Or?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, sorry, I just cut over you. No. So we have Tom Wells' Wonderful Piece, which is basically about a young guy wanting to play netball, at school. And he structured it like a sort of 80s adversity movie. So we've taken a lot of things from Cool Runnings, Rocky, all these kind of 80s adversity movies, how they use music, how they use sound effects, and sort of built it into this, normal 15-year-old kid trying to play netball. So a lot of fun, big epic soundtrack for this small town kid just trying to play netball, and about what it is to be an underdog. So that's really good fun. Then Ella Hickson's writing a piece that actually has folk in there, has some pop in there, has a bit of classical. So she's really written. She wanted to play a lot of form and style of music, so that's kind of got a few pieces. And then Nick Payne's it's got these 2 different narratives from a man and a woman. So we're just in the process now of sort of devising how they could be musically different, but also come together, play over the top of each other, interlink, but be 2 different styles.
It's essentially about looking at a relationship from 2 different perspectives, and so the challenge for Ed, I suppose, is how we structure that musically. And actually, I think quite an interesting challenge for Ed throughout all the pieces, because there's a huge kind of variety of different styles, and we're kind of talking at the moment about how we can maybe tie those up towards the end and do something.
Big sort of final medley where you get music from all 3 pieces sort of playing over each other, playing with each other.
Cool. And what's the sort of process of creating a show like this?
We have no idea. We're just starting. We don't know. The first thing, oddly, what you normally do, I suppose it might be different to normal plays, is that you commission writers, they write a piece, and then you go, oh, okay, so you've got these parts and these people, we need to start searching around. But of course, if you're creating an album or you're creating music or tracks, you need to start with your band, because otherwise you don't know what instruments you've got or what you're writing for. So it's got this slightly weird paradox. So what we decided to put was we put this sort of cast/band together of all actor musicians who are a fantastic talented bunch of singers, songwriters, pianists, guitarists, harmonicarists, accordionists, I mean all sorts of different things. So there's 5 of them, and that's created our core company. And from that, Ed's known the musicians he's got to work with, and the writers have known the cast they've got to write to. So it's been quite a different sort of process. Now we've all come together, and we're just starting week 2 of rehearsal, so it's still quite early days. But it starts with us sort of pulling the text apart and figuring out, one, where the writers have written music, and are there other places we can squeeze music in there? Where are the bits where we can give the audience a bit of a thrill and the most amount of fun? And Ed starts jamming with them all and just figuring out, you know, where all their musical levels are, and then he sort of writes to that. So
I think that unusual process fits very well with the. I mean, it's a very unusual project. It's not something that we've really kind of done before, and hopefully that's going to force us to be more creative. And certainly the writers have come up with some really interesting ideas, and the cast are being very involved with how we're actually going to create the pieces of work. And I think that will lead to some exciting results.
Yeah, it's really exciting having these 5 people who've been on board since the beginning, knowing that it's written for them and musically written for them. They're very empowered to sort of throw in ideas and come up with extra ideas and things. It's been really exciting. I mean, it's a big old challenge, but it's a great one.
Now, you guys have made work for the outdoors before.
Sort of
yeah.
Latitude, which is kind of not in a big tent.
It's different. Yeah. It's a different beast, really.
Yeah, it's a sort of semi-new thing for us as well. Like,
so, what are you sort of looking forward to about performing in the square, for example?
Well, the first thing is that the audience are, I mean, they're right there, and they're sort of going to let you know if they're enjoying it or not, because they can just wander off. So you haven't got anyone sitting down, and you've got all the etiquette of you're not allowed to talk, and you've got to applaud at the end, all these kind of things. But there's this real pressure, you know, if they don't like it, they're just going to leave or throw food at us. So that challenge is kind of so exciting. It's like we've really got to, second by second, be delivering entertainment, because otherwise, you know, you're soon going to know about it. So that's a fantastic challenge, and scale. You know, you go out here and you can't do small, intimate, necessarily sophisticated dialogue or character work. It's actually like, how big can you be? That is really exciting. And I suppose for us, so there's fantastic companies involved with this project, like Truth Directing, Thankfully, and Brash Bash, and Uble. And they're very strong visual and physical companies. And that's not really something that we do as a company. We're much more writer-based. So that has been interesting, because we thought, well, we're not really going to be able to compete with these kind of pros on a visual level, but we do quite a lot of multidisciplinary work, and we do quite a lot of musical work. So we thought maybe there's a way that visually it might be quite simple, it just look like a band setup, but hourly you're getting these kind of incredible sounds and music and text and characters and all sorts of different things on the microphone. So that's sort of what we're trying to embrace, and be big sound-wise, but maybe quite small visually.
Cool. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
And finally, do you have any festival survival tips?
Don't go hard too early, I would say.
Massively important. Yeah, pace yourself.
Not that I have learnt that from
personal experience. We've just seen other
people on the Friday morning
already destroyed, and you're like, you've got 3 days left. Barocca, cleanly wipes, because sometimes the showers can not be nice.
Yeah.
So you have to do sort of an intense body wash.
Kind of baby wipes are invaluable.
Yeah. Dry shampoo if you've got stupid hair, to keep it glowing and looking gorgeous. And don't pop up tent. Never pop up tent. I had a pop-up tent last year. I got flooded on the first night and woke up floating in my own tent. 4 in the morning, I was just in my boxer shorts and my wellies and nothing else. So
it was very sad.
Just don't do it. Just don't do it, kids. It's bad.
And so, also, you're there for an extra day trying to take the bastard down afterwards.
It's mad. It's don't pop up tent.
Amazing. Thank you very much.
Cool. Thank you.